Bride is a very unique movie, and I liked it for its uniqueness, but this is a movie that is not going to be for everyone. The Bride tells the story of Ida, who after her death gets brought back to life by Frankenstein and Doctor Who recruited to help him so he wouldn't be alone. Now, I knew about this movie in December of last year, and I managed to avoid seeing any trailers, anything about the movie whatsoever, so I went into this completely blind. And I had a good time with it, but there are some things that didn't quite 100% work in the movie, but overall I had a good time with this, but it's not going to be for everyone. Going into the pros, I liked how they really weaved in the story of the bride, how they introduced that character with the story of Frankenstein. I think they did a good job with that, and even how they used Frankenstein to bring people back to life. Those are bits I did enjoy about the movie. Do I wish we got to see more of how that was possible? Yes, that's with any kind of Frankenstein movie for me personally, it's a preference. I think this movie is shot really well too. I think acting is pretty solid throughout the movie. I really like the acting of the main actor that we do follow with Ida. I really liked her performance. I also liked how they used dancing and the movies. That was a bit I actually did like about the movie. This could be a negative for some people, but to me, I had a good time with that vibe. Going into the mixed, and the first mixed is going to be the Mary Shelley part of the story. This did not quite work with me. Now, when we started all the way from the introduction, I'm like, okay, this is going to be, what type of movie is this going to be? And when they kind of did that, I'm like, okay, I see, that's an interesting kind of angle to take. I'm paying attention. And then when we went later on the movie, I liked it at the end, I liked it at the start, but it didn't quite work with me in the middle. So I didn't entirely love that. I get what they're going for. Did not entirely love that. I also have it mixed in here for Frankenstein. Frankenstein, again, also not only on how he looks, I think he has acted well here, but he just didn't entirely work for me in the movie. At one point, he does slut shame Ida. That is really out of character in this movie, because we know that Frankenstein is made of multiple body parts. Like we do know that. So the idea that he would slut shame her like that when she doesn't really remember anything, it's just, that doesn't bring anything to it. And I understand what they're going for with the movie. I'm not dismissing the movie's tone towards how women are treated in the industry like that. I'm not dismissing that at all. But that was just a moment where I'm like, raised my eyebrow at. So wasn't entirely a big fan of Frankenstein in this movie. He's definitely a mix for me. And then we have the negatives. And the biggest negative, and this is again a very small thing, but towards the end, something does happen, and they track them down by an open door. Now, we saw before the door was shut, so how it was open is, like, again, a small detail. And I understand what the open door thing is another thing for me. Like, how would you even tell? Like, if you ran a person, how would you know that's the person you're looking for? But putting that aside, you go into there, right? And that's how everyone goes in. And the next scene after they go in, more people find the open door, then they break down the door. And again, it's such a small thing, but I don't like how everything unfolds, just how they have to make it work to make it unfold. Again, that's such a baby thing, but it's something I extremely noticed of how they had to make that happen in the movie. And I also don't like the conclusion of one character. Now, towards the end, we do see how they do get taken out, but I just didn't entirely love how they folded that story involving Ida, which that goes into more spoilers, but we're gonna talk about spoilers there. But I didn't entirely love how they ended that with the character. So going into the spoilers, now Ida was involved trying to protect women. And that is a theme really throughout the movie for women, how they're treated, all the way from how the cop is going and how she's kind of questioning why she can't be a police officer to her partner. And he's like, I have no control over that. And later on, he actually does pass it to her, so that doesn't entirely line up, but I kind of get what they're going for. It doesn't entirely line up. there's moments, of course, where the Ida actually brings on a movement, and I'm not gonna lie, I do appreciate the movie. I do like that they brought a movement, and that movement kind of, I guess I would take it, does end the life of the person, the mob that she wanted to end with the women. And how he gets taken out when towards the end he gets shot. Again, I just don't like the total conclusion of that. I'm totally fine with how it ended, but I'm not totally satisfied with how they ended that story. And how he wanted to track her down to end Ida when he saw her on the paper and he was like, I don't want this. And Frankenstein too, it was interesting. We of course we had a Frankenstein movie last year, and how he was kind of alive this entire time. Now, was he in the background of that movie playing? No, because we do see one scene where he is like dancing in the background. So I'm curious, is that actually him dancing in the background or not? Such a small question I have, because at one moment in this we see a screen of a movie where it looks like he's on it, but he's actually not. So I don't know if that's real or not. I think that'd be kind of cool if it was. So I don't know, but basically what happens is Ida gets shot and killed. The cop recognizes her because she was actually kind of working for him to, because he was killing women. She was going undercover. They were trying to stop that, and that's how she got killed. That's how he recognized her, and he felt bad for what happened, so he put his recognition, gave the partner, and she tracked him all the way to the end. And of course, she gives them to pass, where she says, "Hey, this isn't right. Just do what you gotta do." At the end, you see them being brought back to life by their hands holding. And we do get the reveal with the doctor that she did this before with her husband, brought him back to life, and he doesn't remember anything at all. So I would have been interested to see how they would have went if they looked at each other and didn't recognize each other, or they remembered. But the conclusion note, the holding hands, does satisfy me enough. So,
to talk a little bit more about Ida's character here, I liked how when she was brought back, she doesn't remember, but she knew things. Like when she was able to recognize the officer and detective, how she kind of knew little things and how she kept saying that name. I like that bits about the character, and it goes back to what she was trying to remember. It goes all the way to the name of like who she was trying to figure out who she was. So I did like that bit of the character, and I think she was just a really fun character. And she still had her personality from before she died too, which I did like how they kind of showed that.
overall, I would say that I had a good time with this movie. It is not going to be for everyone. It definitely does have some faults, but comment down below what you think of this movie. Did you have a good time with it? Did you not have a good time with it? Were you the audience for this movie or not? Were you surprised by anything? Comment down below, because next we'll be talking about a low budget movie that I saw directly after this, which, what a contrast after seeing this one.